Hey class, today we are talking about another letter. Today's letter is the letter U, okay? U is a vowel, as you heard Jack say in his video. Hopefully you watched that already. So U's a vowel, which means it makes two different sounds, okay? So it makes a short sound, what we call a short sound, which makes that sound, okay? And then there's a long sound when it says its name. So it sounds like U, the actual letter name, okay? So we've got our U here that we're gonna talk about. We've got our uppercase and our lowercase letters. We're gonna practice writing them here in just a second, but let's focus on that sound right now, all right? The sound of the letter, we're gonna really focus on that short sound where it goes, okay? And our poem's kind of cute, all right? So let's listen to the poem and we'll talk about the sound. It will hopefully help you remember that really well, okay? So as you can see, there's a little robber. He's trying to rob somewhere on there. So we're gonna talk about it. It said, sheriff knocked him on the ground, then he made a loud sound. Okay, so I always say, let's pretend like, look, he's hitting him in the gut, okay? So like pretend like you're getting hit in the gut and you go, and that's the U sound. That makes that sound. So it says, sheriff knocked him on the ground, then he made a loud sound. So I want you to do that with me this time, okay? Make that sound. Try to say the poem. I know I've only read it twice, but are you ready? Sheriff knocked him on the ground, then he made a loud sound. Okay? So that's the U sound. All right? So pretend like you're getting hit in the gut and you'll make that sound, all right? So let's talk about some words that start with the letter U. I want you to think for just a second. I'm gonna give you just a minute. Think about that sound. What words start with okay? Let's go through some of these. If you thought of umbrella, you're right. Umbrella, okay? That's a fun one. Under, okay? See the apple is under the desk, so under. Up, up. Listen to that, up, okay? And that's just two letters. That's so easy, you can sound those out. Up, and then you're reading a word, all right? It's only two letters, you can do it. Then we've got an umpire. So if you play baseball or softball or anything like that, there's umpires there, okay? So the umpire, listen for that sound. Now this one's tricky because it's got that long sound, which we're gonna talk about later on. But this is a unicycle. So the U says its name here, unicycle. Same with this one. I bet you my girls like this one. My unicorn. And the U says its name there too, unicorn. And then we're back to umbrella, okay? So there's lots of words that start with the letter U. So as you go through your week, guys, be listening for that sound, that sound, all right? So the elevator went up. If I say that sentence, you hear that U in the word up, all right? So be thinking about that. Next, we're going to focus on learning how to write it because when we get done with these lessons, we are going to be able to know when we see this, this is the letter U. We're gonna be able to say, oh, the letter U says the sound it makes, and we're going to be able to write it. So let's practice that. So I want you to get your sleeves out and I want you to put the U in the front, okay? So get the sleeves out, find the letter U, put it on the top, get your marker while I write it on the board. So I'm gonna make my lines, my pretty, pretty lines, while you're getting yours ready. Okay, so the uppercase U. We've got an upper and a lowercase, and as you can tell, they kind of look alike. The only difference is the lowercase is, of course, shorter, and it's got a little stick on it, okay? So let's practice writing those. Let's start with the uppercase. Now, it's really easy to get sloppy with uppercase U's, so I want you to take your time and practice it. So the uppercase U, I'm gonna come way over here and start on this end, all right? So we always start at the top or the ceiling, okay? So we start at the top here, all you have to do is bring down a line, curve it along the floor, and then bring it up to the top, and you have a U, okay? One little smooth motion with your pen, all right? So, but if you get real sloppy with it and you try to rush through it, those can get a little messy looking. So they might start looking like this, okay? And then you don't have pretty U's anymore. So you have to kind of take your time, pay attention to your lines, all right? I don't want any of these. I want it to take up the whole space, all the way down to the floor to the ceiling, okay? And think about how wide you want it. This one's a little bit thinner than this one. So you just don't want it to go like this, okay? Think about it when you're writing it. Give it a good space in between, all right? So there's your uppercase U. Not too bad. You just have to really practice and take your time with it. Lowercase U. This one's kind of fun, but this one's my favorite one to make because it starts at the window, so we're making the same motion, kind of that, it looks like a little bit of a roller coaster. Down and back up, and then you bring your stick down, okay? So the stick is on this side, on the end of it, okay? So you're starting your hook, or you're starting your little loop here, come up, and then just come right back down, all right? So again, if you don't take your time, then they're not gonna look the way they're supposed to look. So you can't just rush through this. I want you taking your time. Practice, practice, practice. So no U's way up here, no U's that come really close together and you can barely read it. Or a lot of kids want to do this, and this is tricky because it changes the whole letter if you're not careful. They might try to actually close this top in a little bit. And if you do that, you have a whole different letter. It's the letter A, okay? So you got to make sure you have that gap up here. Come down, up, and back down, okay? So I sure hope you're practicing with me with your sleeves because that's going to be one of your assignments this week. Practice it with your markers and erase it, practice it again, erase it, and then when it's time for the assignment, write it in pencil, okay? Use a pencil and do it on the actual piece of paper. All right, you're gonna pull this out and do it on this piece of paper, and then you're gonna take a picture of it so I can see your pretty U's, okay? All right, so when you're done with these lessons, you're gonna be able to say, oh, there's a U. Oh, and that one's uppercase. Oh, and that one's lowercase. And they make the sound, okay? Like you're punching yourself in the gut, remember, like that sheriff's doing to the robber, okay? So it makes that sound, and then you're gonna be able to write it. And it's gonna be one of these pretty ones, I sure hope, okay? So pay attention, take your time, and do a good job, all right? Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.